one thing has stayed consistent. Celebrating 30 years on the air on WROI is the first federal program. Hosts may have changed, but the program is still the same. Now continuing a long-standing tradition, streaming on the First Federal Facebook page and on WROI. It's time for the First Federal program.
Yes, indeed, it is time for the First Federal program on a beautiful Friday morning. And, you know, normally I'm picking on you, Evan, about bringing bad weather, but it's nice out there.
Changed it up for you.
Yeah, 32 degrees, already starting to see some sun coming up. Yeah, I brought good this time.
Thank you. I love the intro. This is now the tradition like no other. Can we say that, Tanner?
Sure.
Okay. That's great. Well, I can't do Dick's baritone quite justice. This is the First Federal show. That's my best try. That's good to hear his voice, that's for sure. Well, we got a great show this morning, and, you know, I was enjoying that it's getting light out a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
I know that goes away eventually again at some point, but it's kind of nice for a little bit. Mm-hmm. All right. Is today the Groundhog Day?
It is. Okay.
It is. What's the verdict on that?
I don't know yet.
If it's sunny, which it looks like it's going to be, 6 more weeks of winter.
Oh, great.
Our guest just ruined it.
Downer Joe McCarter.
Well, I mean, you know, we still do have boys sectional to come, so that normally does bring some type of bad weather.
Great
precipitation. Ice.
If we don't have it in the girls, we definitely have it in the boys, so.
Well, we're going to be visiting with Joe McCarter in a little bit about RTC's businesses that they've been working on, and we know we talked. It's almost been 2 years ago, Joe, that we last talked about.
I was that bad.
The fiber. You didn't get the invite last year,
no,
Tanner. We got to work on that.
I don't blame you.
That was how long ago some of your big projects were undertaken. So we'll look forward to an update on that in just a little bit. And I understand, Joe, is today your birthday?
It is.
Happy birthday!
Thank you. Yeah.
We discussed earlier 45.
Oh, okay.
45 was a hard birthday.
You don't want to do that one again. I just turned 44, so.
Really?
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. So I should look out for next year's. I guess.
Yes. Yeah.
Mentally and
I thought you were a
emotionally.
little younger than I was.
Just barely. 1 year. All right. Well, we've got an interesting trivia question that I'm not sure if we're going to allow you to vote on this one or not, Joe. Who invented the first smartphone?
Okay.
IBM, Apple, Android, or Motorola?
All right. I think as a tech guy, I would know this. I'm ashamed of myself. Because I'm drawing blank.
Okay. Let's hit up some sports real quick.
Yeah. I like having that there, don't you?
Yeah.
It's right at your level.
Perfect
you don't have
height.
to adjust it.
Perfect
Joe,
height.
you may want to jump in on some of this too. Feel free to.
In my mind.
That's right.
Nope.
We changed it since the last time.
3 mic setup. So, yeah. Good morning, Paul. A lot of sports going on.
Yes.
I seem like I come on every Friday and say it's a fun time to be a sports fan, fun time of year, but it really is a fun time of year for sports. Got high school girls basketball sectional going on, boys basketball. I mean, we're now in February, so get late in season there. College basketball, now they're in February. March is right around the corner. NFL, we're down to 2 teams for the Super Bowl next weekend.
Yeah.
So a lot going on. But let's start with girls basketball sectional action tonight. Exciting one right here in Rochester tonight. Rivals Tippecanoe Valley and Rochester got to square off in the sectional semifinal.
Yep.
They met, of course, earlier this season. Tippecanoe Valley got the win in the first matchup. But should be a good one tonight.
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. That's why they play the game, and especially in the postseason. It's
That's Purdue.
just ouch.
You said getting your money.
Yeah, I should have at your birthday. I'll be nice. I deserve that one. I've heard that one plenty lately, so I deserve that. But it should be a fun one. Hope everybody can go out tonight and go to Rochester. If not, if you can't catch the game, you can catch it on RTC and right here in WROI.
Yeah. Yeah. Randy and Val will have it.
What time?
I knew you were going to ask that. It's the second game, so as Randy said, 7:30-ish.
7:30-ish.
Yes.
7:30-ish. So all right, perfect. Some other games to note going on tonight. South Newton plays Caston. Got Triton against Argus. That game's in Culver. And Pioneer against Winnemac. That game's at North Miami.
Okay.
So a lot of action going on. Exciting that so many of the local girls teams that got past their first sectional game.
Yes.
Yeah, you love it when that happens.
Yeah.
Keeps things really
Yeah, it
interesting.
does. Makes these reports more fun.
Yes, it does.
College basketball, all 4 big programs within the state are in action this weekend. Let's see, it starts with Butler tonight. They like to play on Friday nights in the Big East. Butler is 14-7. They travel to number 13 Creighton, who's 16-5. Late game tonight, 9 o'clock on Fox Sports 1.
Okay.
Butler's had a bit of a bounce back
Yeah,
season.
they're turning it around. They're right there on the bubble to make the NCAA tournament, so Dad Mata knows what he's doing.
It's good for the state of Indiana basketball when they're strong.
Yeah.
So that's good
They're
to see.
strong. Indiana State's strong this year. They're a team we don't talk a bunch on this program about. They're pretty good. Some of the other mid-majors have a chance, but they got to win their conference tournament, of course.
We can leave Indiana State off as there's an alum back
Oh,
there.
there's one back there.
Yeah,
Well,
we need to.
He's a big Trees fan.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, now that they're doing well.
they got cool uniforms.
Yeah.
Both Indiana and Purdue were victorious earlier this week. Indiana beat Iowa at home, and Purdue outlasted Northwestern in overtime. Hopefully they don't see them again. If they do in the Big Ten tournament or NCAA tournament, might as well just bet on the game going to overtime because both games they played went to overtime. Both teams in action this weekend. Indiana hosts Penn State tomorrow at noon on Fox Sports 1. Purdue travels to Wisconsin Sunday at 1 o'clock on CBS. Wisconsin lost to Nebraska last night, so now Purdue and Wisconsin are tied for the Big Ten
You
lead.
driving up for that game?
I should, but I'm not.
Okay.
That is on my bucket list to get to every Big Ten venue and stadium, which is getting harder and harder with this conference expansion.
Yes, it is. Yeah, your job
Now
is
I got to go out west eventually.
very difficult to.
Yeah. I mean, there
But,
used to be just 10 that you had to go to, and now
10
there's,
and 11 and 14, now
Yeah.
18, and
Well, Tanner's whole life was probably 11.
yes, it was. I wasn't.
You're not 44 yet, I
Right,
know that much.
Right. So, and then Notre Dame, they've had a rough season to begin the season. They're 7-14. They travel to Pittsburgh, who's 13-8. That's tomorrow night at 6 o'clock on the ACC network.
Okay.
And then, like I mentioned in my intro about sports, the Super Bowl matchup is set. It's a rematch from the Super Bowl a couple of years ago.
I was thrilled.
I felt the same way, Paul.
I was looking for some new blood.
I was too.
Yeah, we're getting a rematch from the 2020 Super Bowl. San Francisco 49ers against the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
So
I'm rooting for the Niners this
I
year.
think most of America probably is.
Taylor Swift's team. No.
You know, anytime you have Patrick Mahomes behind center, you can't count against the Chiefs, unfortunately.
Yeah.
The thing I haven't liked is the NFL has been shameless about the Taylor Swift
sure.
stuff.
Oh, man.
Like,
Sure.
I'm trying to watch a football game here.
To the point that there are people who are not football fans who think Taylor has bought the team.
Maybe she has, Paul.
Probably Florida. But yeah, it's that's next weekend, next Sunday, of course, and the Pro Bowl, the flag football game and festivities are going on this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I doubt I'll tune into that. I don't
Probably
know.
not.
I bet you will.
I don't know. I don't know.
Tanner.
Pro Bowl's probably my least favorite All-Star game out of all the Major League sports.
Depends on what time it is. He might have
That's
other
right.
plans.
That's true.
That's true.
That's true. Well, I got some tidbits here this morning, Paul, for you. Only 2 on this days this morning because there wasn't any positive ones. So,
Okay.
on this day in 1653, New Amsterdam became a city, later renamed New York City.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah, a long time ago. On this day in 1954, Rio Grande College basketball forward Bevo Francis scored a then NCAA record 113 points
Oh, wow.
against Hillside College. That was eclipsed about 12 years ago in 2012 by Grinnell's Jack Taylor's 138 points.
I've never heard of those stats before. That seems impossible.
I was trying to look up how many shot attempts, and I couldn't find it. So,
All right.
yeah.
You think they're really tall guys or just really
Well, I
fast?
remember the Grinnell one. I remember seeing some highlights on Sports Center. It seemed like he shot every time down the court, and he was a guard.
Okay.
So, a
That's
lot of
what I
threes.
wondered.
A lot of threes go down that minute.
Yeah.
So, 138 points, and even 113 points. Pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive.
I'm going to wager that stands the test of time until they extend the games.
I think you're right. Got a lot of days here, Paul. Today's National Crepe Day. You ever had a crepe before?
No, I have
No?
not.
World Play Your Ukulele Day. I'm
Mm.
guessing you don't play ukulele.
I have.
You
Back
have?
to your
Okay.
Hawaiian roots a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
National River Day. National Bubblegum Day. That's a good one. Number Day. National Catcher's Day, as in the baseball
Hey.
position. National Hedgehog Day. So on top of Groundhog Day, it's also Hedgehog Day.
Gotta support Sonic.
National Wear Red Day, which I didn't
Oops.
follow, but I don't have a lot of red in my closet.
Come on, Tanner. You need to
I
expand
do
your
have a first federal red
horizon.
shirt.
Okay,
You've seen me,
that's
you've
true.
seen me wear it a couple
Yeah,
times.
very few times actually.
Very few times. Maybe when I have to at
Laundry.
community appreciation
Yeah.
events and things like that. National Give Kids a Smile Day. That's always a good one. National Tater Tot Day and National Brown Dog Day.
Yeah, National Catchers Day. Pitchers and catchers are going to have to start reporting here
Yes,
soon.
very soon. Very soon.
love that.
So baseball season
Always
right around
sneaks
the
up
corner.
on you,
It
doesn't
does. It does. I feel like the season just ended.
Well, now that the Super Bowl's pushed back another week, they're kind of starting to
Gotta
run into
plug
each
something
other.
in there.
Yeah,
So.
that's right. Well, thank you,
You're
Tanner.
welcome.
What about upcoming local events?
I see we got the popular Scioto Xi father-daughter dance coming up.
They've changed venues, I believe.
Yeah, holding at Rochester High School
Yep.
this year. That's going to be next Saturday, February 10th, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Cost is $15 per person. Both daughter and father do have to have a ticket. Tickets can be purchased from members of Scioto Xi or at the Rochester Center.
Limited quantity, and there's probably a pretty big black market for those tickets. That are
I
happening.
presume you're right. So, yeah, but always a popular event, and
Yes.
I always like seeing on Facebook. There's always a lot of people posting pictures and
Yeah.
things like that.
Mhm.
And it's-
A lot of fun and festivity. Hey, in money news, the Dow was up about 1% this week, and after the Bell Meta, who owns Facebook and Amazon, reported some really good income to kind of get the week continued on. So hopefully we finish in the green at the end of today for the week. But economy-wise, the Federal Reserve met this week. They meet every 6 weeks, just about, and look at all of the monthly economic data, and they indicated that things were getting better. We've been talking about inflation for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
I think inflation's been kind of cooperating a little bit slowly, so they've kind of kept that they're not going to lower their interest rate yet that they use to fight inflation and kind of keep prices contained as much as they can, but things are moving in the right direction. So sometime this year they're expecting to probably start easing their interest rate, which the markets are already anticipating that and starting to change some things in anticipation. So that's really good. But all in all, the economy has continued chugging along, and I think that's why they haven't started decreasing their rate as fast as what they thought they might have to. So that's a good sign. Hiring and jobs, everything's been fairly good, and companies are doing pretty well. Consumer spending is really what's been keeping the economy going, and government spending also. So those are all good news. I know 2 years ago everyone was worried that eventually there'd be a recession, and that hasn't happened yet. So we're going to knock on the counter here and keep things rolling. But those are really good things. As little disruption to labor and people's lives as possible would be great. I know we've been dealing with different prices being a little bit higher or going up here and there, but those things have all been subsiding. Food, gasoline, a lot more affordable here lately. So really excited about that. And of course, as a bank that enjoys making loans for people to be able to buy homes, we're really eager for those rates to continue falling and make those homes a little bit more affordable for people that are looking. But keep your eyes out, because as things come on the market, it's still a very low supply market of homes, so you got to be on your toes and ready to go. We can help you with that with a free pre-qualification, just to make sure you kind of know what you want to be looking for, what's going to fit your budget, and that doesn't cost anything. We like doing that to kind of help you be prepared.
Marry the house and date the rate.
Hey, I love that. There we go.
I feel like I've heard that before.
Hey, speaking of First Federal, we've got a CD special still, but it's a little bit different.
Yep.
I know we talked about this once already, but we've got an 8-month CD special at 4.99%
Yeah.
APY, and we'll be running that for a little while. That's one of the benefits with that spike in inflation is we've got some good savings rates for people again, which is great. There was about 12 years there where it was tough to find much in the savings rate arena. We also have a great second mortgage special going on. If you've got a really low rate on your first mortgage, which about everybody does, you may have an opportunity to consolidate some debt or maybe do a home remodel, especially if you can't find a home since there's not many available on the market. And we've got a second mortgage that you might qualify for that could help you get those things done at a very affordable rate. So talk to us about that. We can help you. A lot of times, sometimes credit card debt can sneak up on you a little bit, and those rates are really high, over 20%. And so this second mortgage can be a great option to start paying that back at a much lower rate. It helps you make some progress on repaying that debt that maybe you accumulated over these last couple of years with some higher prices out there. So talk to our mortgage loan originators about that, and they'd love to kind of scope that out and see if that's a good fit for you. We're offering our Simply Free checking accounts. There's no monthly maintenance fees on those. We also have the same offer for Simply Free Business checking account, no monthly maintenance fees on that as well. So when you open a new checking account, Tanner, we got the free gift right here.
Yeah, hopefully everybody on Facebook can see it there, but it's a sleep therapy sound machine. And Evan, you were our test subject for this when we were picking out gifts this year.
The kids are staying in their bedroom, so it's working well, keeping a nice low sound to help with some sleep. So
yeah,
I like it.
It says on the back, get a deeper, more restful night's sleep with this drug-free sleep aid for insomnia, general restlessness, and other sleep-related issues.
My boys sleep together in one room, and I can't get their beds far enough apart so they don't keep waking each other up. So this is helping out a lot at our house.
It's got 6 sound modes on it: night light, sleep timer, and travel-friendly. So,
yeah, small enough to travel. I really like that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you can like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, or YouTube. Tina does a great job keeping everything up to date on our social media and online channels. We're the only locally owned bank in Fulton County. We don't want to be the biggest bank, just the best. See, I tried that. Was that better? Okay.
Good.
Borrowers must meet underwriting guidelines, and we are FDIC insured and an equal housing lender. Our NMLS number is 399927.
And that makes us legal.
So we're welcoming back Joe McCarter after a 19-month absence from the show. We're going to see if we can get him on a little bit more often than that, but we'll see how this interview goes.
Yeah, I was going to say, give me that thing.
Joe, you're the president of RTC Communications. How long have you been in that role now?
I think this is 14 years.
That's a great run.
Yeah,
Things keep changing.
they do. Fast-paced, a lot of fun.
Yeah, that is fun. It's fun to be in an industry technology that's changing. And hey, our community relies on RTC for a lot of things. And you guys have really been out there in front of some things over the years to help us have the right kind of resources for telecom and other things. Last time you were on, you were talking about a big project that has to do with that. And I think kind of pandemic probably pushed some of this topic forward a little bit in the country, and that's broadband, fiber, high-speed internet. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it did. I think COVID, got a lot of attention to the need for broadband access across, especially rural America. And so both the state and federal governments stepped up quickly. We were successful, as we talked about 19 months ago, on the Next Level Connect grants, round 3 at the time. Started that build last year, and we had a really good year in 2023. We were able to put about 300 miles of fiber in the ground here in Fulton County.
Wow.
Opened up the towns of Leitersford, Kewanna, and Fulton. Our rural Leitersford area is now open, meaning we take orders and do installations.
That's great.
Big news yesterday, we just went live in rural Fulton. So if you're in rural Fulton, you can go on our website now and or call in to 223-2191 and sign up for service.
What's the website also, Joe?
RTC1.com.
Right.
And even
That's
if
awesome.
we're not yet ready to install in your area, I would really encourage folks to go to rtc1.com, and we have a link there that you can go and look at our map and see our activity, and you can sign an interest form. So you will be one of the first to be installed when we are ready in your area.
Well, that's a good idea. Kind of get in line, get in the queue a little bit.
Yep.
Well, that's wonderful. You say build. That sounds easy. You go out there with a hammer and some. No, that's not what it is. What are some of the challenges of the build you're talking about?
Yeah, I mean there are a lot of challenges. The great thing is our employees have been through this before.
Yeah.
Obviously we built out Rochester,
A lot of experience.
Akron, Argus. Done a lot of work up in Marshall County. But you have to put mainline fiber in the ground, and we're a little reliant on the weather. So the last 3 weeks has been slow. We had a freeze followed by rain. And of course that rain had nowhere to go because the ground frozen. So that doesn't help for digging. But yeah, all in all, it's going very, very well. And we just encourage folks to, I always say that the worst day, if you have fiber, the worst day with fiber is better than a good day with fixed wireless. And we have a good fixed wireless product, but for where the industry is going and where customer needs are going to be going, fiber is definitely where you want to be.
I'm kind of thinking some of our rural communities probably never expected they'd have this opportunity.
No, and quite honestly, I never expected we'd have the opportunity to provide it.
That's great.
It's so costly. But kudos to the state of Indiana for recognizing that and augmenting to make it at least possible. Tons of cooperation from our county commissioners, county council, in encouraging not only us, but then just with right-of-way and permits, they've made it a lot easier for us. So that's been a real positive.
You love hearing about those partnerships to get things done in the county, and it always takes a little bit more than just ourselves to get good big projects done in the county. So that's a great reminder.
Yeah, and I'd also like to mention Fulton County RMC has been a really good partner for us. They recognize the need for their members, because that is the rural community, from a quality of life standpoint, how important it is. And Andrew and his team have been a really good partner of ours.
That's great. Thinking forward this year, 2024, what are some of the areas that you're continuing to work on? You mentioned, even if you're not to someone's area yet, what are some of those areas that are coming?
Yeah, it's the rest of Fulton County.
Okay.
So if you're in Fulton County, and that's why I encourage you to go to rtc1.com and sign up, because it's our goal that by the end of this year, you will have access to fiber-based internet.
That's wonderful. All right, let's switch gears for a second. Talk about your other business, cable TV.
Cable TV, it's brutal. It's brutal for our customers, and it's brutal for us. I think the only winners are the programmers. Prices continue to go up, and one example I had yesterday, retrans, which are the four major networks, ABC, CBS, NBC, and Fox. When I started back in 2009, we pay programming per customer. So for every customer we have, that's what we pay, to the programmer. Back in 2010, we were paying $3.25 for those four channels. $3.25 per customer for those four channels. Today we're paying $52.35.
Oh my gosh! I thought you were going to say maybe 12.
No. So we have to pass that along.
Yeah.
And every programming network is doing the same thing. And the other thing is, you can't choose what, I just want ESPN, I don't want ESPN2, or I don't want, we can't do that.
Yeah, so that means we can't do that.
Right. If you want ESPN, you have to get everything ESPN offers, and you have to pay for it. So we are really encouraging folks to take a hard look at over the top, which is streaming. And we have a tool on our website, again, rtc1.com, that is called My Bundle. And you can go on there and select the programming that you like to watch, and it'll guide you to the right over-the-top service.
That's great.
So you're still paying programming fees. There's no way around that racket, right? But this allows you to kind of skinny things down a little bit, and maybe not. I don't need sci-fi, or I don't need
customize what you're going to actually use.
So it's the closest to a la carte that you're going to get under the current rules and regulations. So I know it's not for everyone. It can be a little clunky at times, but it's getting a lot easier. to navigate over the top, and so I would encourage folks to do that.
We're speaking with Joe McCarter, president of RTC Communication, a great local partner and employer as well. How long, you guys have been a blue ribbon local company for a long time. How long have you guys been chugging away here in Fulton County?
We've been here for about 127 years.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
I have not been here.
Yeah. I remember 45 years.
Yeah,
We remember.
yeah, 45.
That's an amazing record. Probably not eclipsed by almost any other company here.
The last thing on cable I want to mention is our RTC TV. That is also available via the internet.
Oh,
And
okay.
we are doing a lot of the local sectional games. We were at Southwood last night for the boys' game. Programming ran long, so it actually cut off with about 7 seconds. We didn't go to Heidi, so we actually the programming that cut off was the wrestling sectional.
Okay.
I would encourage folks, if they haven't watched the wrestling sectional from Plymouth, coverage is really good, and Rochester as well as some other local teams did really fantastic, and it's a nice program. So I would encourage folks to look at that. The last thing I want to make sure I mention with you talked, Evan, about how fast things change.
Yeah.
We from time to time have to go into maintenance windows because we have to upgrade equipment, and we had such window last week. We notify folks the best we can of those maintenance windows, but I would just encourage people to follow us on Facebook and keep an eye out for that. The maintenance window for us is 12 midnight to 6 a.m. We don't do it very often. Last week we came out of the maintenance window a little foggy. We had some issues,
Yeah.
so we do apologize for that, but we were able to restore things very quickly. But it's just the nature of the beast in our business. We can't shut down for 2 weeks
Right.
and just work
Retool
on
things,
We
yeah.
can't do that. Well, we could, but I don't think people do that.
That'd be a lot worse, Joe.
So we appreciate, and our customers were so understanding, and we really appreciate that. And like I said, it's not something we have to do very often, but just want to remind folks that once in a while we got to retool. So.
Well, and we want you to, because that means service quality and features and things go up.
Yep.
When you're able to do those things.
Yep.
So it's a benefit to everybody for a very short-term inconvenience.
Sure is.
So that's a good. Well, we want to thank you again for being such a positive company in our community for 127 years. That's an incredible number. And as things have changed so much over the years, RTC Communications has continued to stay out in front for all of us that are wanting really good online quality. We've wanted good cable TV options over the years, and you guys have done a great job providing that, staying relevant, and even introducing things that we wouldn't have had an opportunity otherwise. So,
Thank you.
yep, thank you so much for your leadership on that, and for your entire team. You've got a great team
We do.
at
Very
RTC.
fortunate.
And you've been great partners to many, many nonprofits, the government entities here, and other businesses, and we really appreciate. And as a local company and employer, we've been able to benefit greatly from your leadership, especially on broadband network speeds that we utilize too at First Federal.
Yeah,
So
absolutely, same here.
So that's been a huge benefit. And also, you're involved in a lot of things yourself, and we see you making a difference in the community, and we just want to recognize that this morning too. Just as much volunteering and support as you give to everyone in the community, it's greatly appreciated and noticed. And
Thank you. Appreciate it.
yep, absolutely. So thank you so much for coming on this morning, Joe, and we'll try to get you back in here. We'll check 2025.
See how the ratings are.
Yeah, we review a few things. We'll get in touch. Is that what they say? We'll be in touch.
Exactly. Don't call us. We'll call you. I get it.
Our
Okay.
people will call your people.
Well, let's dive back into our trivia question this morning. Who invented the first smartphone? Was it IBM, Apple, Android, or Motorola?
I know this.
Okay, I wondered. I thought you might have had a little insight here.
So that means I'm going to go first.
Yeah, that's right, Paul.
I'm just going to go with one of the big tech companies and go IBM.
Okay. Joe?
Well, I gave it away because I said I did it. Yeah. Now, I was not personally involved in
Got
the
some history on this, don't you?
yeah,
You
but
have some
like-
patents in the Joe McCarter family.
I'm not going to overstep here, but yeah, IBM.
IBM, and according to this, 1994, Simon was released, which featured a touchscreen and email, and also had a couple basic apps.
Yeah, interestingly enough, if I remember right, I think the price point on that was about $1,100, which is about where we are today.
Isn't
Yeah.
that crazy? Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing. Of course, now it's like having a computer.
Yeah, there's a few more features and functions to that. Yeah.
It's funny when you look back at the first like personal computers and how low power they are compared to what we have in our pockets now.
I think I saw something that said your smartphone has more computing power than we had when we sent men to the moon.
I think I've seen that too. It's just unbelievable to think about.
Yeah.
And were you guys Palm Pilot guys when those were around? Was that?
No, I didn't.
Okay, well, we were dealing with some juniors here, Joe.
Blackberries.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
had
they're-
a BlackBerry.
Those
but I didn't have
technologies
Palm
have come and gone, but they were good in their time.
My first cell phone was in a bag.
And there we go. That closes the show.
And I'm only 45.
Well, let's end our show this morning with some words of wisdom from Paul J. Meyer, an American businessman. Communication, the human connection, is the key to personal and career success.
I like those words of wisdom. And we got good news. Grandpa Polly has predicted early spring.
Punxsutawney
Nice.
Phil. There we go.
Yeah.
Bucking the trend, guys.
Early spring. So let's hope for it.
We
So
need it.
Evan, stay away until we're officially in spring.
I can't do it.
We'll see you guys again next week.
Thanks,
Thank
Paul.
you.